Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Podcast dedicated to one thing to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your fellow biohacker, and just someone with a lot of passion for healthy food, healthy eating, nutrition, longevity, feeling your best, looking your best, performing your best on all levels, and using the power of nutrition and healthy food to do and be all that, to be your best self. Because every cell in your body is built from the food you consume every single day, several times a day, and you gotta pay attention to what's on your plate if you want to be the best self. So yesterday, the episode was dedicated to the book, The Circadian Code, and in particular, the takeaways, practical takeaways that you can start using to lose and burn the most fat, to build the best to build a good amount of muscle and improve your body fat composition, meaning to build more lean body mass and reduce fat mass. So I shared the insights from the book about fat loss, muscle building, and just general health, the timing of your food that matters, as it turns out, even more than the foods that you eat when it comes to health, your gut health, your overall health, your metabolic health, your brain health, but also, of course, for your weight loss and weight maintenance, for your fat loss, and for building muscle. So check out that episode if you missed it. Today, we will talk about particular foods that I recommended on intermittent fasting diet or time restricting eating diet, even though they say that food doesn't matter as much as timing as it turns out, but it still matters a lot for long-term health. We are yet to see someone on a junk food diet who was able to maintain health, vitality, and good looks. So let's dig in. So today we are talking about foods that you shouldn't be eating on any kind of diet, but are also not recommended on time restricting eating or intermittent fasting diet. Then I'll tell you a little bit more about the way I eat and about the way that the author of the book, The Circadian Code, Lose Weight, Supercharge Your Energy, and Sleep Well Every Night, Satchin Panda, PhD, how he eats every single day. So let's start with the foods that Dr. Panda doesn't recommend for anyone. And if you want to increase the benefits of time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting. So what shouldn't you be eating, no matter what kind of diet you're on? No soda, diet, or otherwise. Drinking full calorie soda is one of the easiest and most effective methods for streaming sugar into the body and disrupting your body glucose system. Drinking soda is one of the most obvious ways people overconsume calories, and diet soda is not a healthier alternative. It is thought to change the gut microbiome, and you need all the good bacteria you can get. So, diet soda or any kind of soda or no pre-packaged fruit juices or vegetable juices. Even the ones that say they're 100% fruit juice are not great choices because most of them contain preservatives that can corrode your intestinal lining, causing leaky gut syndrome. If you must have fruit or veggie juices, make them yourself and drink them the same day. So no soda of any kind and no prepackaged juices of any kind. No breakfast cereals unless they have fewer than 5 grams of sugar per serving. You don't need to start your day with sugar and desserts. No energy, quote-unquote, protein or any variety of fruit and nut bars. They're just candy bars, even if they're marketed with triathletes or sports stars. Many of them have tons of protein and fiber, but most have lots of preservatives and sugar. You're always better off eating a handful of nuts instead of having them pressed into a bar. No processed foods that contain corn syrup, fructose, or sucrose. Read labels carefully, as these ingredients can be found in anything from pasta sauces to candy bars. You want to avoid them because even though they're used as sweeteners, the body doesn't recognize them as forms of sugar, and they trick your blood glucose control system into reacting as if there is no sugar in your blood, causing your blood sugar levels to rise. This is a big problem for anyone, especially if you're already diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes. Basically, just try to avoid any kind of added sugars in your food at all costs, and make sure to check ingredient labels, because very often they just you just wouldn't even think that there can be sugar. Like all kinds of salad dressing, most of them have sugar in some form. Next one, no dark chocolate or hot chocolate in the evening. 1 5-ounce bar of dark chocolate has the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee, and as we know, caffeine disrupts your sleep, disrupts your circadian rhythm. So no caffeine in chocolate or coffee in the evening. And they recommend to at least stop consuming your caffeine at least 6 hours prior to bed, because caffeine takes at least 6 hours to get out of your system. Half of it will be out of your system, half of it will still be there. So, and decaf drinks, by the way, guys, they still have caffeine, even though it's much less. So if you love your chocolate, have milk chocolate. I do not recommend any sugary chocolate, of course. So the next item is no commercially processed nut butters. So whenever you buy nut butter, just make sure that it has only one ingredient, the actual nut. So if it's almond butter, then it's almonds. If it's peanut butter, then it's only peanuts. Even though, again, I do not recommend eating a lot of peanuts for inflammatory purposes, anti-inflammatory purposes. Skip any kind of processed butters or like oils other than coconut oil, olive oil, and butters that have only one ingredient. Make sure there is no sugar, no vegetable oils added anywhere. So to recap, you don't want to have in your diet, in any kind of diet, according to the book, soda of any kind, juices, prepackaged juices of any kind, no breakfast cereals that are pretty much desserts, no energy bars of any kind. Eat your nuts, whole and unprocessed without any labels. No processed foods that contain corn syrup, fructose, or sucrose, or any other kind of weird sweeteners or any really added sugar. No dark or hot chocolate in the evening, because it also has a lot of caffeine that disrupts your sleep and circadian sleep rhythm. And no commercially processed nut butters. And basically, guys, just no processed food. Eat a healthy, balanced overall diet. Let me give you an example of what Dr. Panda's eating protocol is. So he eats in around 10 to 12 hour window. His breakfast is a combination of cottage cheese, oatmeal, some cranberries, and some almond powder that he makes himself in a food processor. For dinner, he usually has, and dinner usually happens in the afternoon, whereas breakfast is somewhere around 9 a.m. So for lunch, he has either salad or soup, something really light, because he doesn't want to disrupt his energy flow and he wants to be super productive during the day. And for dinner, that usually happens 6 to 7 p.m. with his family. They have, as he says, traditional dinner, some cooked in fat vegetables and some protein. So pretty simple and doable for any of you guys. As for me, for my own energy levels management for really low body fat percentage that I love to maintain for a lot of energy for workouts and my work. I love having my food in 4 to 6 hour window, and it's either one big meal and the rest is my water with electrolytes, with lemon, with some vitamins. And for my one meal, I usually would have a lot of vegetables cooked and fresh in salad, and then some form of protein. I'm a pescatarian, meaning I eat, when it comes to animal product, only fish, and I do eat eggs, so no dairy, no meat, no chicken for me, but that's just me. So a lot of vegetables, my fatty protein, as I like to call it, and that's about it. And when I feel especially hungry, and then when I work out more and work more, I also might have a mini breakfast at the beginning of this 4 to 6 hour period eating window, and that would usually be something like 3 eggs or a kind of sardines and maybe avocado, half or whole, depending on how hungry I feel that day. And that's about it. So guys, if you have any questions about how to design your eating, time-restricted eating menu, if you have any questions about food you should probably not have if you want to optimize your health, your nutrition, your metabolism, your fat loss, your muscle gain, further your productivity, your performance, shoot me email to angela@createyourself.today and ask any questions you have about time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting. And another thing, even though they do recommend to consume most of your calories at the beginning of the day as early as possible, because that's where your body can control the glucose, the blood sugar the best. That's where your digestion works the best. That allows your gut to recover the most during the night, and to renew all the gut cells, all the like what they call mucosa cells. But anyway, your gut renews itself every night, so the earlier in the day you have your food, the better it is for your gut health. And they also speculate in the book that things like leaky gut syndrome or different intolerances and autoimmune conditions related to gut might be related to late night eating and just for your gut not having enough time in general to renew itself, to repair itself. Because people used to eat what studies show like somewhere around 4.5 times a day, and now they eat like 11.5 times a day, so the gut just doesn't have time to repair itself. And that's why there is like a whole epidemic of leaky gut syndrome, of different intolerances and allergies and all that stuff. So long story short, you want to consume your calories earlier in the day, and in that no more than 12-hour window. But I forgot what I was going to with all of that. There is an example in a book of a guy who just couldn't imagine himself eating early, and he always would crave food at night. So he created his time restricted eating window from around 5 to 6 p.m. till 11 or midnight. That just was his lifestyle, and that's what he maintained. During the day he would consume just water and black coffee and some tea and non-caloric beverages, and he succeeded too. His health improved, his energy levels improved, his sleep improved, and he lost weight and just feeling much better. So timing does matter when you eat your meals, but the time restricting eating, meaning consuming your food in 12 to 8 hour window, matters most. So design the eating protocol that you can sustain for life, and that's the most important thing. Again, if you have any questions, shoot me an email to angela@createyourself.today. I'm more than happy to consult you on your time restricting eating habits. And love you all, guys. Have an amazing, amazing, healthy weekend. I'll talk to you very soon. And till next time, eat better daily.